Okay, so this is Microsoft Excel. Okay. Um, one of the things Excel is, and you guys have never used it before, you say? Okay. So kind of what Microsoft Word is, how Word is a document, Excel is a workbook. It's also called a spreadsheet. So it has a similar tab layout up top here, but it's going to be green and it always starts with book. Now, as always, good habit to get into before you start working on anything is to save these. I actually hit print. Save these. So I'm going to save this to my computer apps folder, my Excel folder. I'm going to call this practice CA5AQ1. That's a whole long name to have, but notice I have this saved here. Okay. For right now, we're going to use our desktop version, not our iPads. I'll show you guys. We're going to have a little video created on using this on iPad too. But anyway, when we're in Excel, down here, you can see that we have rows that are numbered and columns that are lettered. I can click over here and I can go on for just about ever. Okay, we don't need to do that. Also, same thing if I scroll down, I can go on for just about ever. Don't want to do that. Anybody know what these little rectangles in here are called? What? Columns? Not a bad guess. These are cells. So if I click right here, I'm in cell C4. And they come together right here. You guys know what those are called? What this little area up here is called? Name box. How did you know that? Remember, Microsoft does do this where if you hover over something long enough, it will show you a screen tip telling you what the name of that is. Okay, so if I said go to the font dialog box launcher, this is where my font settings are. So I'd click that, and here's my format cells dialog box, and it goes right to font. If I want the alignment one, I could go right here, and it goes right to alignment. Either way, this is the format cells dialog box. So it's these little corners here. Make sense? So if this is cell C4, tell me what is in cell C4 right now. And I'm going to make D just a little bit wider. What is in cell C4? Mr. Nold. What is in cell D4? Is the coolest? Okay. What is in cell D4 now? 6. What is in cell C4? Mr. Nold, you're wrong. What is in cell C4? Mr. Nold, what? So what I'm trying to get you to see is this thing up here. What is this called? The formula bar. So it might seem like what's in cell D4 is stinks, but if I press my backspace right here, you see there's nothing in D4 now. If I press enter, it says is the coolest. If I zoom in, you will notice that the line is missing here. So what is actually in cell D4? Nothing. What is in cell C4? Mr. Nold is the coolest. I would have to make this wider to fit that all in here. There's a reason I show you guys this. Okay? I'm about to get to that. So I'm going to delete this. Whatever is in the cell shows up here. So let's say Excel is really powerful. So that's why I want to show you guys that. So let's say I'm looking at the price of cars. So I want to buy a new pickup and it's $35,987. But I also found one that's about $42,589. How much would both of those cost? Well, because I'm going to buy both of them. So I'm going to say equals C4 plus C5. If I asked you to add those two up, would you have gotten 78,576? You would have, yeah, because you're really fast at math probably. What is in cell C6? Very good. I was waiting for one of you to say 78,576. That is not what is in cell C6. What is in cell C6 is right here, correct? Why do I do it that way? Because if I were to change the content of cell C4, let's say oh, this thing went on sale. It's now down to 32,500. And then I press enter, or I clicked off of it. Notice what is displayed in cell C6 has now changed 75,089. So it's given me a nice number there based on this formula. We're going to use this a lot. Okay, so Excel is pretty powerful like that. I can also do some other things with this. It's like if I type Jan right here, of course, Jan, what would that have to do with anything? If I pull this out, I can actually get the months of the year. Same thing if I pulled it down. That's pretty phenomenal, right? What if I type in a 1, then I pull that over? What do you think is going to come in? Oh, you thought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. It's just giving me ones. Okay. What if I put a 2 over here, though, and highlight both of these and then pull it out? Ah, it counts up for me. So watch me do this again real slowly. If I highlight both of these and copy them, remember I said that about the screen tip? It's showing me below the cell what's going to come in those cells. So it shows me all the way up to 10. So if I go right here, type 1.5, and I do the same thing, I highlight both of these, what's the next cell going to say? Cell C6. 2. What's the next one going to say? Yep. So remember I went 1, 1.5. So if I pull this all the way down to like, say 10, it went up by a 0.5 the whole way. So Excel's really powerful. You just kind of have to know how you're using it. Now, if you have problems, sometimes you can run into what's called a PEBKAC error. Have you ever heard of a PEBKAC error? PEBKAC stands for problem exists between keyboard and chair. Get it? Get it? Yeah, it's the person. Problem exists between keyboard and chair. So if you mess up on one of your formulas stuff, that's how you figure out if you need to fix that or not. So now, if I highlight a bunch of cells, how would I write this right here? What have I selected? I've selected what's called a range of cells. The range of cells I have here is selected from C4 to C14. How we would write that, I'm just going to jump to a Word document here, is like this. I actually did C5 through C19, C5 to J5, and C5 to J20. So C5 to C15 would look like this. Oops, come on. Oh, stop double clicking, Mr. Knoll, jeepers. Okay, like that. And then C5 to J5 would be sideways like this. C5 to J20, like going sideways, looks like this. That's pretty much all you can have. Does that make sense? So that's how you select a range of cells. Where am I going with this? We're about to get into that. Now it gets exciting. I'm going to stop my recording here because this is my intro to Excel. Booyah. Now I need to find how to stop that recording.